Hey YouTube, Matty's A12 here on legit YuGiOh also, another video article. Make sure you guys, venture through the rest of the site and check out all the rest of the articles on the legit YuGiOh.com site. But today we are going to talk about, in this video article, the new ban list that will come into effect January 1st. It has been posted today, and I'm going to talk about all the changes to it. First and foremost, I want to talk about comes to active January 1st and runs through March 31st, which is something that a lot of people weren't expecting. A lot of people were expecting them to stay with a 4-month list, making it run through April 30th. Sure, but no, it is through through March 31st instead of April, which means this is a 3-month list, which means we can expect to be on a 3-month rotation, which means we will have 4 lists throughout the year. A rather interesting turn there. A lot more lists, a lot more formats, and just a lot of big changes coming, and a lot of changes coming fast. But I want to talk about the changes that we have right now ahead of us in the new format coming January 1st. I have the article, not the article, I have the site pulled up right in front of me on my computer, and I'm going to scroll down through here and just talk about the changes to the list. So I'm looking through all of the forbiddens, and the first thing that comes up as a new forbidden card, Dragon's Ravine. I didn't expect Dragon's Ravine to go to 0. I did not expect it to get banned. I really expected them to do something a little different with that. I expected them to go more the route of restricting it to 1, maybe 2, forcing us to play terraformings and forcing us to do some other things. Banning it, I don't like the idea of doing this because it completely cripples the Dragoonity players. Dragoonities are next to worthless now. Dragoonities are dead for no reason other than an innocent bystander. Kind of like Formula Synchron going to 1 when the whole plant engine was the actual problem. That's kind of what has happened to Dragon's Ravine. I don't really think that it warrants a banning, but hopefully that comes back and we can get that fixed. We go on through the rest of the spells. We get into the traps. The traps on the new ban list is what has changed quite a bit. Return from a different dimension, the win button, if you would, is banned. Sixth Sense got banned also. And then the one that kind of caught a lot of people off guard, self-destruction button. Why is self-destruct button banned? I really think, personally, guys, that it is because Konami caught wind that I was building a deck, a self-destruct button deck, for me to go to one of the ARG events or to one of the YCSs, and my goal was to go 009. That was my goal. I did not want to win. I did not want to lose. I wanted to go into an event and go 009 with 9 draws and just see where that happens. See what happens from there. I feel like accomplishing something like that would be almost better than winning an ARG event. Being able to go through all of the rounds and go, no wins, no losses, and 10 draws. I think that would be kind of cool. I really think that's why. No, guys, I really don't know. It's a bit odd. Self-destruct button getting banned. I don't really follow where they're going with this. I don't know of anything that's coming out that's going to be hurting that, or making that busted or whatnot. I don't know, guys. Maybe you guys know more than I do about that. Self-destruct button. Somebody explain it to me. Comment down below. Explain that to me. Alright, on into the limited. Now, these are cards that you can only use 1 of. And let's start it off with Blaster. Blaster, the Dragon Ruler of Infernos, along with Redox, Dragon Ruler of Boulders, Tempest, Dragon Ruler of Storms, and Tidal, Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls. All of the big dragons are now restricted to 1. One major thing that I have a disagreement with this is, if you're going to put all the bigs to 1, why did you not give us the baby dragons back to 1 or 2? I really feel that the baby dragons to 1 or 2 along with the bigs at 1 makes a lot more sense to me, but they didn't. What they did do was they restricted all of the dragons to 1. I mean, they are really pissed off at dragons right now. Konami is really upset with them right now, and they've taken all the bigs to 1. They've gotten rid of Ravine. They've gotten rid of Return from a Different Dimension. They got rid of Sixth Sense. They got rid of everything. All of the busted, broken cards in that deck are gone, except for the big dragons, which are at 1 now. I don't really understand why they took it to that length. I mean, I guess I do. I mean, we're talking about 2 formats have gone by that dragons have just completely ruled the format. No pun intended on that. I don't know. Debris Dragon to 1. I really felt like it was a mistake to take Debris Dragon to 2 to begin with. I really felt like it should have stayed at 1. But yeah, so it's back to 1. With the support that they've given to the plant engine, it makes a lot of sense for it to go to 1, and it's a good card, guys. It should have been at 1 to begin with. Let's see, what's next? Into the spell cards. Okay, the spell cards. First one is Divine Wind of the Mist Valley. Now, this was a card that went to 1 in the OCG already. There's a couple of OTKs with the Divine Wind and the Harpy's Dancer. So I can understand why the Divine Wind gets hit. I guess it kind of needed it. To be honest with you, I don't know all of the combos for the Divine Wind, the Mist Valley field spell, but I do know that there are a lot of combos involving it, and that it can get quite ridiculous if it got to just play around and just mess up the meta. So next. The next one, new, limited. You can only use 1 of this. Final Countdown. I completely agree. It's a really trolly deck, and I don't know, like that deck and Chain Burn, I play them from time to time just because I really enjoy aggravating the crap out of people, but I don't know. I really don't think there's any spot for it in the meta, to be honest with you. Final Countdown is just kind of a cheap win. I don't really like it. All right, next. What else goes to 1? Sacred Sword of 7 Stars. Again, guys, they are just determined to make sure that there is no way for us to be able to play dragons. That's the only way I could see why they would take all of the bigs to 1, Sacred Sword to 1, ban Dragon's Ravine. I don't get it, guys. I don't understand why they would take it to that length, but they did, so we got to deal with it, right? Next, Spellbook of Fate to 1. Spellbook of Fate to 1 is interesting, because I mean, it's broken. It's busted in that deck. I mean, in Spellbooks, Spellbook of Fate is almost a win condition in itself, the stuff that you were able to do. So, yeah, I mean, Spellbooks, something needed to happen to Spellbooks. I really don't know that Fate was the right card to hit, but I do feel that it was a card that needed something done. Putting it to 1, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you probably could have put it to 2. However, when you think back, a lot of the Spellbook decks are only playing 2 to begin with. So putting it to 1's probably the right option, I guess. So, I mean, you've taken 1 card out of my Spellbook deck, but what have you given me? And what they've given us back is Magician of Faith. Magician of Faith comes back to 1. And you guys don't remember this. Well, some of you may. I remember playing in a format way back when Magician of Faith was at 3 and at 2, and Metamorphosis was live, and you could flip Magician, get Metamorphosis back, and then morph Magician, or flip Magician and get Monster Reborn back, or Heavy Storm, or whatever, extremely over the top spell card that you needed at the time. You could just grab it back with Magician of Faith, and then you are able to replay it. And all the cards back then had no real cost, so Magician of Faith was able just to grab back all these big busted cards, and really just, it was a problem card then. Now it is I feel like it's not as good. It is slower. It's a flip effect, so it's going to be a lot slower. But I do feel like in the Spellbook deck, you've taken away 1 Fate. I'm just going to add in 1 Magician of Faith. I don't know that that's really going to make that big of a difference in that deck. All right, so now let's get to the semi-limited. Just a couple of these. I did say before that they are giving the Plant Engine some more support, and Lone Fire Blossom to 2. You know, I don't really know what that really does for that deck entirely, because I really don't know. I don't know what the new plant stuff is going to do for the deck. If Lone Fire Blossom, if the new plant stuff is really that great, then Lone Fire Blossom at 2 just could be busted. Again, Lone Fire Blossom at 2 was tremendous when we had, you know, the Triple Tengu and Glow Up Bulb and Spore and all of this extra Plant Engine stuff that you don't have now. So Lone Fire Blossom to 2 should be fine. Eric Pence of Legit YuGiOh actually picked up his 2 Champion Pack Lone Fire Blossom expecting this. So, you know, kudos to Eric for predicting and you know, the Lone Fire Blossom to 2 with all the plant support coming out. I guess it kind of makes sense. So yeah, kudos Eric, good job. Chaos Sorcerer to 2, yay! Chaos Sorcerer to 2. I like my Chaos stuff, guys. I enjoy my Chaos Stun. I enjoy Chaos Dragons. I enjoy all of the Chaos stuff. And Chaos Sorcerer to 2, what it does for more than anything is for my Chaos Dragons, it gives me another level 6 that I can summon relatively easily and get to use its effect, and then get to overlay into M7 or any of the other stuff. And now that I've mentioned M7, I'm going to go straight into the cards that are no longer on the list and are now at 3. M7 is the first one. Constellar, Potomi, M7 is the first one that goes back to 3. That's all good and well. That's a card that I don't know that it's really that great at 3, just because it has some effects that allow it to be abused. I feel like there's some chances that card is going to be mixed into some OTKs and stuff, and Heretic Dragons already capitalized off of M7, and I feel like that's a card that's going to get abused. Kind of like Tiger King, DeLorean. It's not an outstanding effect with DeLorean, but it's a good enough effect that it could get abused. I feel like Potomi M7 is the exact same thing. It is not an outrageous, you know, out of this world effect, but it's just good enough that it's going to get abused, and I feel like it's probably going to end up going back to 1. Next, Fire Formation Tinky. Tinky goes back to 3 from 2, which I guess is fine. I mean, they've hurt everything else. Why not give us a little bit of support to the Fire Fist and force us into playing Fire Fist, I guess? I don't know. Now, Tinky, with 3 MST, Tinky is, I guess, negatable. You know, you play your Tinky, I change my MST, I stop it, you don't get your search. I kind of see what they're saying, but in the same aspect, if you're gonna give me 3 of the spell card that allows me to search for a Beast Warrior, why am I not able to play more of the search card like Rhoda? You know, I mean, I guess part of the Rhoda thing is because you've already got Elemental Heroes and 6 Sams that have all their searching stuff also, so and they're just happen to be warriors, so you give them extra Rhodas, and then next thing you know, you're getting just eat up with just search. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Tinky to 3. I feel like Tinky's proper place is 2, but it is what it is. All right, so now the monsters that have come unrestricted. So now you can play 3 of these monsters. Archlord Christia. Fairies have not done much of anything, so for them to get the extra support, I guess is fine. A little bit odd, though. Archlord Christia, again, has a great effect, keeping both people from being able to special summon. It's fairly easy to special summon. And it has the ability to just cycle back and give itself. But I don't really see the opportunity that I would want to play 3 in my fairy deck. I feel like 2 is the right number, possibly even 1. Mizuki and Plague Spreader Zombie both go back to 3. guys, I mean, zombies are just getting all kinds of support right now. You're going to help out the vampire deck quite a bit. And why not play some Destiny Hero zombies? You know, I mean, James Arnold, one of the guys from my area, loves this stuff. And now that he gets a third Mizuki and a third Plague Spreader, I'm sure he's just going to be all giddy like a little child because he was in the deck profile. TG Striker, back to 3. This was one that everybody questioned why it was even at 1 for a while. Back to 3. I don't think it's really going to change much. Any of the variants that I've ever seen playing TG Striker were usually just playing 2 anyway. So TG Striker to 3, I really don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. And last but not least, Tour Guide from the Underworld. Tour Guide from the Underworld goes back to 3. And honestly, guys, I feel like without Sangan, Tour Guide can be at 3 and not cause a problem. I really think that gives Chaos Dragons an even more of a little bit of a push. So now you're going to have 3 Tour Guide and the Night Assailant. So Chaos Dragons could be good. I don't know. All right, so that's all the changes. So now I kind of touched on it just a second ago too. Chaos Dragons could be good. Let's talk about some other things that could be good. Fire Fists get more support with the Tinky coming back to 3. Zombies, all kinds of zombie variants. I see the vampires being good. I see Destiny Hero zombies being good. I see Lightsworn zombies being good. Agents. Plants could be good. Wow, spellbooks. I still think spellbooks are going to be good. A lot of stuff is still going to be really good, guys. I really think the only thing they've done is they've taken the overpowered giant that was Dragon Rulers, and they've taken them out of the equation, and now we're kind of left in the same meta that we're in now if you're not allowed to play dragons. I feel like the meta right now is actually pretty good if you're not playing against dragons, and I feel like that's what our next meta is going to be like. So what's going to be good? A lot of stuff. Constellars are going to be good. You know, I mean, the list goes on, guys. Lightsworn are going to be good again. Just so many things. I could see TG Stun making a push. Speaking of Stun, Evil Swarms, not going to be as good. I really don't think Evil Swarms are going to be as good, just kind of out of, I guess, default, because with them taking down the major deck, Evil Swarm's biggest purpose in the meta right now is to answer dragons. And now that dragons are not an issue, I mean, Evil Swarms are going to be not as good, just because it's not going to hurt as many other decks. So there you go, guys. There's the legit first look at the ban list. As we have going to the rest of this week, or next week, I guess, we're going to have some more of the guys giving us their thoughts on the new ban list, and hopefully we'll have that up soon. So I appreciate it, guys. Subscribe, comment down below, and show us how much you love us.